Alright, so hello and welcome to my channel. I am Professor Dimado, currently a Gold Microsoft Learning Student Ambassador at Accra Technical University in Accra, Ghana. So in today's video, to show you how to build a flow and approval request that sends an adaptive card to Microsoft Teams. What's an adaptive card? So an adaptive card is a content that can be added to Microsoft Teams or Outlook or any other platform, such as maybe the Power Virtual Agent, and an adaptive card is purely written in JSON, which has buttons, links, and all that, right? And it is rendered natively to the platform. So if it is added to, if it is sent via Microsoft Teams, it's renders natively to the UI of Microsoft Teams. If via Outlook, it renders natively to the UI of Outlook. So that is what an adaptive card is. It is purely written in JSON, and you can search at the Microsoft adaptive cards and you can find them, and also how to build one. Right. So for this video, show you how to build an adaptive approval request flow that sends an adaptive card in Microsoft Teams. How can we do this? To know this, then stay right here as we jump straight into the video. Alright, so first of all, we need our flow. First of all, need a form, because it's an automated cloud flow, so something must trigger it. So we need a form. So I have this form here. So this is a simple form, the book title and the author, right? And since this is going to be within the organization, I'm not collecting. So it's within the organization, so I'm not collecting any the user's name or something of that sort, right? Or the person who sends the request, the name of the person. So that's what we are going to do. We are also going to store our data in Microsoft Excel. So we have this over here, and also in SharePoint. So we also have in SharePoint. So I'm doing this in two scenarios. What you want to store your data in Excel, what you want to store your data in SharePoint. How can it be done? So I'll be using these two scenarios. Alright, so let's jump straight into the video. Alright, so first of all, you need an automated cloud flow. So I'll name this flow book book request 3, and I'll say when a new response is submitted. That's for Microsoft Forms, the trigger connector. Right, so let's click on create. Alright, so for this we have our form here. So you have to look for our form, book request approval form. That's the form we need. So our next step will be it should be like the Microsoft Forms, like the Microsoft Form connectors. So you see Microsoft Forms, pick on Forms. So I selected Forms, then after that we select this connector, get response details. Right, so for the form ID, we're picking the same form, the form name, then the unique identifier. We'll be adding the dynamic content here, dynamic content, which is response ID. So for every form, we have a response ID and like the form ID. The form ID is the form, and the response ID is the response, that like the response of that particular form. So every form that is submitted, there's a response ID attached to it, right? Yeah, so let us get the names of them of the person who submitted or who made the request. So we come here and say office. So Office 365 users, I think I'll say get profile v2. So no, I think this username, not profiles. So let's delete this one. So yes, office, select this one. So there are many connectors under Office 365. So what you need is alright, so you have to get this connector, get user profile v2 version 2. So then in the get user profile, we need a unique identifier for the user profile. What is the unique identifier? So once we are using the person submitting the form, the person has an email, though we didn't request the email of the person, so we'll be using the email from within the organization, right? The email from the responder waits within the organization. So we say respondent's email, then we go to next. Next we have to create an approval. So we have so approvals. So you come here, select create an approval. Let's select this action. So for this one, what is the approval type? So we want to say create that's first to respond. Yes, first to respond. Just need one person to respond. So once you choose first to respond, to pop up here. So I say book approval request, by then obviously once we say get user profile, we see all the details of the person, so of the user. So let's get the username. So that's the display name. So that's the display name. So I've gotten the display name of the person. Let me give. So yes, then assign. Who are we assigning the approval request to? So say. So I'll be assigning it to myself. So I'll be assigning it to myself. Then the details. So like that's the amount that the details. So I'll say book approval request by. So yeah, say display. So display name, book author, and say details. So details, book author, then so book author. So you can search it like in the dynamic content. So you can search, make things faster. You can search. So we have then book title. So you have your book title. Then yes, yeah, I think that's all. So that's what we need there. So then the next step, once we create an approval, so we have to create the teams before. You have to create the teams. So yeah, Microsoft Teams. So I think there is a connector here. So post a choice options as a flow, but nah. So post an adaptive card and wait for a response. So this is what we need. Right, so under the message, so we have it posted as a flow bot or as a bot. So that's what like the adaptive card is like. It's in the form of a bot, like posted as a bot. Once you check the definition of what an adaptive card is, so you have to post in the channel, then you have to post in, so then the theme is approvals. Then in the channel we are posting in book approvals, right? Yes. Right, so for the message, we'll be adding an adaptive card here from the create approval. So there's an adaptive card, since adaptive card, see an adaptive card that can be posted to a users to users response. So you posted this as an adaptive card. So that's the message. So once we create an approval or we start an approval, we have to wait for the approval. Wait for approval. Let me see, or let me just simply put approvals. So once you start or we create an approval, we have to wait for an approval, or we have to wait for the approval to complete. So what is the approval ID? So approval ID, so let me see, yeah, that's the approval ID. I think it's this one. Yes, let's move on. Yes, so once we are done, we need a control, we need a condition, and you just need this. So say when the approval, the outcome, right? The outcome of the approval, or is there any better connector? I think it's the outcome. So the outcome is equal to approve, right? So I think in the message you can say approval request. So you can say just kindly approve or reject this request, and just say, let's say thank you. Yeah, we are done. So let's come here and add an email. So if the approval is if it is true, let's send an email to by Outlook. So for Outlook, you'll be choosing the send email version 2 connector or action. So the address will be, let's add dynamic content, with the responder's email. Then the subject is I say the book name, the book title. So I can say book title. I can say approval request for the book title is approved, right? See, it's approved. It's approved. Say yes. You can say that is what I can say. Thank you. Your request for book. So book title by, I say, this author has been approved. Has been approved. Approvers, I say approvers name. So the name of the approval, you can get it over here in approvals. So you can say approvers like responses, like the name of the approver. You can also add the comments from the approver. So comments, if there's any comments, and see if there's no comments, it's none. All right. So so in this one, so let's add another connector here. Another connector. So we'll be adding. So you're choosing Excel Online. You have it here, Excel Online Business. So we'll be adding a row to the table. Add row into table. So we'll be choosing this one. So just look at how I'm doing this. Adding Excel Online. So you choose online for business, or like OneDrive for business, then OneDrive, then the file I think I saved it here also. So I think book approval requests, then table, like in table 1, it will just drop down. Once it drops down, so we want to add so let me put share. Let me just share SharePoint. All right, SharePoint did show up. Okay, so Excel book right here, no Excel. So we come here. So the book author, book title, book title. Then also we have approval status. So for this one, just the outcome. You just be needing the outcome here. The outcome. Then requester's name. So the name. Name. So the requester's name, just the display name. Over here. So done. So you can also add a SharePoint if you want to use SharePoint as your data storage. So SharePoint, and same create item. So on a SharePoint, where did I save this? So I think to be primary dev. No. This tubes. Then approval request to drop down. So for at this point, what I normally give to the title is the response ID. Then give some hyphens, and we just give the submission time. Yeah, so for the book approval, book author, book title, book title. Then so now you see in SharePoint I added 3 options, right? Drop down options. So for this, I can, since we are in the true, like, if yes, we are in the true like statement. If it is true, we can just set it to approve, or if we want to make it dynamic without using the options, you can just use the same we can add a custom value. So you can add the custom value, which is the outcome. So if you don't want to buy it, it is still the same thing, right? You can either add, you can use the drop down, or so by default, once the approval request is sent, it's sent to pending. So once it is approved or rejected, then it will change to whether it is approved or rejected. Get me? So the requester's name is actually the display name. Yes, so we are done. Let me close this. Right, so let me open this. So for this, I'm going to send like an email. So because what if I requested for a book and I didn't, I was not approved, like I was not approved then, and I didn't, I've been waiting for days, even weeks without getting any notice. So you have to know, if you apply for a job and they didn't get the job, they should reach out to you saying that you didn't get the job or something, didn't get the offer. It's better that way. So for this one, you have set for Outlook. So let's send an email, so that the email will be to which person the responders. Sorry, let's add a dynamic content here. Responders email, then subject, so book approval request rejected, book approval request for the book title has been rejected. So this is an approval request. It can be any form of approval within the organization, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a book. Right, for demonstration purposes, I just use a book. So say, hello, can say hello, the display name, hello, yes, your request for the approval, your request for the book title by this author has been rejected. Approver's name, so approver's name, new approval, approver's name. Then if there are any comments, if there are any comments, so you can add a comment here. Responses added by approval. Yes. Then I think for at this side I can do something like this. Thank you. So say hello. Let me add a dynamic content here. Display name. Yeah. So I think we are done. So this is our flow. You can see it over here, very big one. So let us save. So once we save, you go ahead to test our flow. So our flow has been saved. Let us test, right? So let us test. So this is a new flow. We are like, there's no like it has never been run before. So you choose the manual and choose test. Right, so right, so this is in the testing mode. Let's go to the forms. Let me go to preview. Let me add simplified JavaScript by Ebenezer done. So let's submit. So our flow is running. Let me. Right. So now, okay. So it has created approval. Oh, there's a mistake. You have an error. Wow. Right. So let me pause the video and check the error, and I'll come back again. Right. So let me pause the video and pause the recording. That's what I wanted to say. Let me pause the recording. Alright guys, so I've figured out my error. So we shouldn't have used the post adaptive card and wait for a response. So we have to use this connector. Right, so we have to use this connector. So let me set for Teams. So for Teams, you'll be using this connector. So we'll be using this connector, post a card in a chat or channel. So this is the connector we'll be using. So it will be posted as a flow bot, as a bot. We'll be posting it in the channel, and we'll be adding the team. What the team ID is approvals. The channel ID is book approvals. Yes. And you see the adaptive card. Yes, so you just say adaptive. Let me just close approvals. Oh, why? Let me see. Oh no, see where I'm creating it. Wow. Okay, so let me delete this. The reason why I'm not getting the dynamic content is because I should have created it below the create approval, so I can get the adaptive card, right? If it is above, you can't get it because it's above that connector. I hope you have learned something new today. So let me search for teams. So teams. So we're using this connector. Post a card in a chat or channel, then we'll be posting it in a channel. We'll be posting it in approval as a team ID, also in book approvals, and adaptive card is actually this one. So teams adaptive card, and we delete this. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. So yes, so let us save. Yes, we have saved. So this flow has run before, so we want to use the response we did some few minutes ago to test our flow. So as it is running, let us see. All right. Okay, so we are waiting for an approval, so it has gone through. So let us go into teams. So you can see this one, book approval request by Prince Adimado. Realize that I didn't give the name. Nah, I didn't do it. So requested. So this is the email. Today's dates, book approval request by Prince Adimado, details like yes, details. Then the book title is Ebenezer Dawn. The book title is simplified JavaScript. So kindly approve or reject. So we're going to approve this one. We're going to approve this one. We don't add any comments. We just submit it like that. So it has been submitted. So let us go here and let's go to Outlook. So in the Outlook, we have, so you can see hello Prince Adimado. That's the display name, if you remember the display name. The request for simplified JavaScript by Ebenezer Dawn has been approved. Approver's name, no comment. Get me? So that's that. You could even say we can store the, how do you call it, and go to edit. You can even store once the request is like not approved. They can even store the details in the data storage as well. So you can go ahead and do the same thing for this side. Let us check our Excel. So you can see Ebenezer Dawn, simplified JavaScript, status is approved, request name, my name. Let's go to SharePoint. SharePoint. So you can see the response ID is the 7, the time and the date. They approve. You can see it over here. Though we didn't choose approve manually, as we chose it as a dynamic content, and this is the name. So you can still see what if it is not approved, right? what if it is rejected? How can we do that? So we can still come here and we add the Excel. I think I won't do this. I'll leave it for you to go into. So just you add the Excel and say, okay, we also want to, the organization want to collect the info of people, or the number of people or the people who requests were rejected, so that at least the organization can restock the library, like their library, right? Maybe the organization have a library where people can request books, so they can reach, like you can go and get some of those books, so you can store them. So you can say add the row into the table. You follow the process. You add another connector. Which is create item, which is from SharePoint, right? And then also follow the same procedure to add it, right? If you want to add it, so for so let's say you add this one. If it is from this request, so so for now it's set to pending by default, which is the default value. So you can set it to reject, or you can add a custom value from the outcome. From the outcome, it will be the same thing. So thank you very much. I think that's all. So this is the adaptive card we are talking about. You can also approve within your email. So this is the approval request through the email. So you can you can see you have already completed this request. It can also be approved by your emails, not only in Teams, but it's also sent via Outlook, which I said in my intro that it is it's rendered natively to the platform, like the URL of the platform, which is called the adaptive card. So if you want to know more about the adaptive card, search for adaptive card and learn more about it. It's nice, All right, so thank you very much. I am Prince Adimado. As I said earlier, if you like this video, give this video a like and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.